Okay, hi everybody. Welcome back to Hearing Things with Julie and Brad. This is our final installment of our episodes designed to address mental health during May, the month of May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. And today, Brad is going to be addressing some research that he did around isolation. And I think it's really key that we frame up what that means and how we're using it in this term. This is not about socially isolating yourself purposefully to recharge. This is a different type of isolation and how it links back to hearing loss. I'm going to let you take it away, and I'm going to learn right along with us.
But first, we want to please ask you to like, subscribe.
Yes.
all of our stuff, because we need that algorithm.
Subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Check out our website, dttproductions.com, and really make sure when you're there, click on our merch store and Patreon right at the top bar on the homepage.
All right, that out of the way, let's get into it. And so I did I grabbed a couple of articles to kind of give the experts a say instead of just listening to these two fools. So the first one, an article from NYU. And so I think this is common knowledge, but in 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General announced they were in a loneliness epidemic. I remember hearing this in the library because a lot of people come to the library for social interactions. And so a lot of newsletters said, like, what can we do to combat this? This is important because the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that 25% of seniors have little or no contact with others. 1 in 4 seniors are alone. That is heartbreaking. Wow. And so the study also showed that seniors who got hearing aids were more successful at retaining social social connections. Because it's hard. Like we've talked about, listening fatigue is real.
It is.
And so it's hard.
It's
hard. So I guess we're middle-aged at this point, but we're younger than the people.
For yourself.
Sorry, I'm middle-aged. She's forever young.
That's right.
So, like, it's hard for us, and so when you get older, you're going to have less energy, and so it's harder to interact, and it's harder to interact even more so if you have hearing loss. So hearing loss can be very isolating. Older seniors with hearing aids were also able to maintain deeper, high quality, which is very important, bonds than those who were not treated for hearing loss. So this does come back a little bit to the episode we did about hearing loss and dementia, where untreated hearing loss because of the lack of cognitive exertion can lead to dementia, and being isolated is usually the first step. So getting your hearing checked at any age is very important. And again, so the study also showed a slowing of cognitive decline, which then would lead to dementia. They also, and the NYU article, I was very impressed because they mentioned the cost of hearing aids. And
wow.
They said
it's not a cheap endeavor.
It's a huge commitment. So they acknowledge the fact that, yes, getting hearing aids can help you maintain the bonds, which will stave off depression, but it's not always an option for everybody. And that's where, like, I'll put a plug for the Boston Guild run out of Northeastern University, where you can sign up for cheaper hearing aids if you do have financial difficulties. So I'll put a link to the Boston Guild program in the description, because it's Dr. Nicole Laughlin is doing a fantastic job there. And it does alleviate. I think that one hearing aid costs like $250. 2 costs like $500 or something, maybe $750. I can't remember what it was, but under $1,000, and hearing aids can run $7,000-8,000. So this is a huge program to stave off this kind of problem. So the other article I had was another PubMed one from the National Institute of Health.
Every time you say that, I'm going to Ireland next week. Every time I hear pub, I'm like, oh, yay.
And so this was a review of a bunch of different studies. I think they reviewed there was 2,500 hearing loss studies, and they reviewed 14. And so 14 of the studies were reviews that showed hearing loss was associated with a higher risk of loneliness and social isolation. And so they just showed, it was a literature review, basically. So all these studies were done, and this article just kind of like summarized all of those articles and looked for common themes. And the studies just sought to establish the connection between social isolation and hearing loss, and it definitely established that connection. And then they recommended studying whether treating hearing loss can help older adults feel less isolated. And that's exactly what the first article, the NYU article, did, is yes, treating hearing loss can help reduce isolation. And that's so important. It's we've talked about it before that we can be in the middle of a crowd and feel isolated because of our hearing loss.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I can't imagine how hard it is as you age to feel isolated, even when you're not supposed to be isolated because there's people around you. Just because there are people around you, if you have problems understanding what's going on around you, it can be so isolating. So get your hearing checked. And if anyone has a relative that is
Took the words
older,
right out of my mouth.
please just have them get in touch. hello@dttproductions.com. Sorry, we're not in org. We can help. We'll help whatever way we can. And if they don't want to air their dirty laundry, so to speak, we can have a private conversation. And it changed my life. Getting hearing aids changed my life. It made it for the better. Talking about hearing loss changed my life. It introduced me to Julie, and we can do this show. And so the conversations need to happen, and the stigma is still there, and it's hard. It's not easy. Once you get it, it's the beginning of the battle, right? You're not even playing the game yet before you get the hearing aids. But hearing aids are not like glasses. They're not correcting. They're aiding. And so there's still more tips and tricks that you need. And I can see how people who get the hearing aids can still end up being isolated because it's such a lot of work initially.
It's exhausting.
And then it gets a little better, but it's never easy.
Getting over that hurdle of
It's
getting used to them that first month is brutal. Also, if you have an older person in your life or even someone that lives alone in your life or even a neighbor, reach out. It doesn't take that much to send a text, send an email, phone call, set up a visit, say, hey, you want to go for a walk, set up something monthly. Do your part to kind of include people that are right now maybe not included for whatever reason. I mean, maybe they're living alone or their family is no longer with them, and it's easy to get forgotten about and fall through the cracks. So make that effort.
For sure. Anything else you want to say?
Nope.
She doesn't want to say anything. Right. Let's move on to books then.
This day in history. She doesn't have anything to say.
What do you got over there?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So my hearing is going. We know this, right? And my biggest fear is not being able to hear Frank Sinatra ever again. But I'm comforted by Frank's famous quote that he always said at the end of his concerts, "May you live to be 100, and may the last voice you hear be mine."
Ha! That's brilliant.
Isn't that great? That's the hope for me, honestly.
That's brilliant and self-serving all at once.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And this is a little shout out to my friend Jimmy, who's the biggest Frank Sinatra fan I know. We both love that quote, but as he likes to remind me, he goes, no, the last voice you're going to hear is mine. I'm like, please no. Please not. Anyway, Frankie liked to sing. It's a picture book that's the story of Frank Sinatra's childhood all the way up to going over to New York City for the first time and becoming a singer. It's awesome.
Wait a minute, did he immigrate?
No. He immigrated from New Jersey to New York.
Oh, okay.
To New York City on that boat. On the ferry. So not from... all the way up. Yep. But something about Frank Sinatra that is interesting is his mother always wanted him to stand out from the crowd. You know, she loved him. He's his only child.
Okay.
She knew how special he was, and he was scrawny and didn't look like the other kids and didn't want to stand out. So he almost had his own insecurities.
Sure.
He was bullied as a child and just turned out to be just so phenomenal. I mean, the pictures are just gorgeous in this book. So this isn't a very well-known picture book. I don't know how popular it is, but... It was written in conjunction with his daughter, Tina Sinatra, and it's just awesome. It's awesome. I love it. This book, I didn't know about it until I left my prior elementary school 8 years ago, and the librarian, who's a good friend of mine, found this and donated it to the school library in my name and bought me a copy also.
Oh.
It was kind of nice. A little part of me was left behind at my prior school before I switched jobs. But it's just so good. And... the other famous quote of Frank Sinatra that I live by. Yes. Especially in those challenging moments with challenging people. The greatest revenge is massive success.
That's good. That's good.
He certainly achieved that.
That's
with everything that he went through in his stories. So.
We're getting there.
Frankie.
We're getting there too.
That's right.
That's right. My book is Life is Good, the book by the Jacobs brothers. So you know those T-shirts and hats and everything with those like stick figures. This is the book about how they do their business, and it's a little contrived now because they've been around for so long. Right. But I love the fact that they practice what they preach, and so this is tenets, the pillars of their business, because they do have a business, right? So they have just a great attitude, because I think the world needs more positivism. I think you need to have fun, like we do, and you need to be more positive, because the world is hard right now, and I guess all the time. But like the book was heartwarming. I read it. I think I read it in 2016, and so I needed a lot of. It was a tough year, if you remember what happened. So it was good to read about people who were altruistic. Yeah, they're capitalistic. They're trying to make a company, but like there's also values that they have, and they don't. The bottom line isn't always the answer. So the money isn't always the deciding factor in some of their business decisions, and I respect that so much. So Life is Good. The book is my choice.
Okay.
That's it. So thank you for sticking with us this month. I think that mental health is something that needs to be talked about all the time, not just in May, but we wanted to make sure that we jumped on this, not trend, but the celebration of mental health awareness needs to happen, and we wanted to be part of it, so we did.
We did. And Mom, this is the final episode
Final one.
of seeing us in the same outfits, because we recorded these all at once, so we wanted to have it be consistent for the month. So my mother will be happy to know that the next show she sees will be wearing different clothes.
We should say something at the beginning of that one, like, this one's for you,
Mom,
Mama
this
D.
one's for you. We changed. All right.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.